Hello, everyone.
Welcome, welcome.
Come on in. We have just finished eating probably the fastest ramen we've ever had.
Yeah, like...
We have a very special guest joining us today on the stream. I could not be more excited to welcome Stephanie Panisello, who plays Claire in Resident Evil 2. Yes! And, we love this game. We have played this game... since Halloween, we've been kind of on the Resident Evil tip.
We've done both playthroughs now. We started off as Leon, convinced we wouldn't make it past maybe 5 minutes, but then we proceeded to finish the game, and then we're like, we like this so much, we have to see what's happening with Claire. We went back, and now we're about to get to the end of Claire's journey.
Yeah, we've made it to the Umbrella Laboratory. So we got through the sewers, which are easily my least favorite part of the game.
Yes.
Because I don't like when things pop out at me.
And they pop out.
And they keep popping out at me. This entire game is one series of things popping out at me. Mm-hmm. And thank you guys. We do like the puzzles a lot. It's so much fun. I see Lord Hayabusa's here. HTTPS Sarah, thank you guys for the gift subs.
Yes.
Appreciate you very much. We give you all a big hug because we know a lot of people need a hug right about now.
Thank you,
good to see you. Claire is here. That's right, Stephanie.
She's here. Mm-hmm.
So the way it's going to work is you can type Stephanie, Claire, or guest into the chat anytime during today's stream or forever after, and you will be able to find Stephanie, who also streams on Twitch. Her channel is Because I Claire, which is awesome. And also her Instagram link is flowing through there as well. So thank you guys so much for being here. Grave Lily,
thank you so much.
Thank you, Grave Lily. Big hug to you too. So
on today's stream, we have a special prize. We have this Play the Positive pin on a signed postcard, and we give it away pretty much on almost every stream. And the way to enter is by just being here. If you're following the channel, subscribers get 5 times entry, and if you give a gift sub like Grave Lily, 1 or many, you're entered in 10 times.
Wow, you nailed that.
Yeah, thank you.
Almost like we've been streaming for 33 months. Almost. What's up? The Hobbit is back for 10 months. What's up, Miss Hobbit? And Parallel Deviation, welcome back for 2 months as well. I see Cosmic Georgie entering in 10 times with that gift sub. I see Jay Indigo is back for 3 months saying, hey guys. Hey. And Red Queen, welcome back for 7 months. Morphin Scout back for 10 months. A Humble Narcissus, which is a paradox in and of itself, is back for 10 months. And Miss Slothrop for 30. Time flies indeed. Since the very beginning, y'all.
And Lynx with a gift sub group hug as well. Thank
you. Thank you, Lynx. We really appreciate you. Thank you guys for being here. And Transbender89, thank you for being here for 23 months. You heard that Claire is here. Yes, you will see Claire. She is here, literally holding the line, being incredibly patient as I ramble through the things we do at the beginning of the stream. I'm not going to keep you much longer because I want Stephanie to join us. So I do have to tell you that we have, after we finish a game, it is only customary that we would announce our next game. So we have a game announcement to make of our next Saturday game that we'll do at the first hydration break once Stephanie and we have all done our Q&A together. And if anybody has a question for Stephanie during this segment, you can type @Dechart Games into the chat. And the moderate, my heart, oh, they're so in love with Claire. Stephanie, you got a lot of love on this. This is what I'm dealing with. Just so you guys know what I'm
the queen of untangling.
I'm a grown man.
Help me. Untangle queen.
Help me, please. Lord Hayabusa, thank you for being here with us. 5 gift subs as well as, Off the Chimera 666 is here with a gift sub group hug as well. We're so grateful for you guys. Catnap is back for 9 months. I'm going to put your in a grenade launcher. Here comes your Twitch, baby. Raise it up right. Teach it to vote. Goran, thank you for being here for 17 months, a year and a half. Now we are ready. So Stephanie, this is my broad indication to you that it is time, and we're going to begin. Put in this here. I'm going to do one more click like this, and then I'm going to make sure I'm not muted, because I always am. And then I go like this, and then I say, everybody please welcome Stephanie Panisello, who plays Claire in Resident Evil 2. Yo!
Yes!
Hey!
Hello!
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining.
For sure. Thanks for having me. I love that you guys share your headset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're never more than 18 inches apart. This is
Beautiful.
This is our life, yeah.
I don't know, Stephanie. I'm so excited, but I'm also nervous. I mean, you've played through Resident Evil, right?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to remind everybody who's joining us on the stream that we are about 2 hours from the end. So if you have any questions for Stephanie, please share them with us, but don't spoil the end of the game for us, because we know you crisscross with Leon at some point, because we've seen you as a flash with the little girl Shelly, right?
Yeah.
At the end, Sherry. Damn.
We keep calling her Shelby, and then
I keep changing her name. We're gonna call her Stephanie. Right now, everybody in the chat you can see is Queen, Stephanie, Claire. Oh my gosh.
Everybody who's like on, I just want to say hi. I know I'm quickly kind of seeing it. So I'm in a different setup from like my normal setup that I stream out of. So I'm like on my little laptop. So I'm like, okay, I can see everybody in there. So hi, everybody.
Thank you so much for being here. And Stephanie, you also stream on Twitch.
I do stream on Twitch. I was playing Alien Isolation, and then I realized how much I don't particularly feel a lot of joy after that. So I switched it up, and I've been playing Rise of the Tomb Raider because I'm obsessed with the Tomb Raider franchise and stuff. But I do play all kinds of other stuff. But yeah, so.
That's awesome.
On Thursday nights now.
You're streaming on Thursday nights. Well, for anybody who wants to join on Stephanie's channel, we are going to be hosting as well, so you can find it. But the link is there flowing through the chat, and it says "Because I Claire," and I thought it was just like a nice, like, because I can has Claire, that sort of a thing. But because I Claire is, you told me you want to tell them the origin of what that is?
Yeah. So because I Claire, first and foremost, I know it's a little bit punny. There was actually a really great fan that kind of like had mentioned it, and then it stuck with me because there's a moment that Claire has, which you guys already played, so I'm allowed to talk about it.
Yes.
So when Sherry has been left in the, in that room, it's kind of like the dumpster, like trash compactor location or whatever it is. And she's left there by her mother, and the mom's like, it's too late. I can't do anything about it. Like all that, and she's like about to like change over from the G virus. And Claire comes in and she's like, arguing with Annette Birkin, and she carries, Sherry, and she looks at her, and Sherry looks up at her, and she's like, why are you doing this? And Claire so simply just looks at her and says, because I care. And like, I know it probably seems like cheesy and stuff, but that really, really clicked with me, because that's the reason to do absolutely anything and everything. You don't need a big giant reason, simply just because you care. So it really stuck with me because it's her origin, like her whole backing of like why she does things, but also I feel like it just connected with me personally. So that's why it's Because I Claire, and the whole channel is very wholesome and lots of cussing though, but still very wholesome.
The best.
But yeah, and it's just about sending love and stuff like that. So whenever we raid party, we're always very, because we care.
I love that.
I should say, but yeah.
Stephanie, I feel like your community on Twitch and ours are going to get along swimmingly. We love a good pun. So Because I Claire goes over big with us, and a lot of compassionate people here with us joining on the stream.
I love it.
Yeah, and we've been known to curse once or twice.
Yeah.
Especially when playing this game and getting surprised.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Would you like some samples of the different ways we can swear?
I mean, look, there's a compilation of Claire that literally specifically is dedicated to all her cussing. So I'm sure that you probably had something along those lines,
Yeah. She always seems to say what we want to say exactly at that moment.
It's true.
It's like, oh shit, what is that?
Yeah. You're a bastard.
Well, I don't want to delay on anyone's questions because we've got a bunch of them coming in right now. They're up in our chats, and you should know we have 2 subscriber chats on our Discord, Stephanie, and normally they're called Jericho and Zen Garden. They're allusions to Detroit Become Human locations, but today they are named in your honor Stephanie Co. instead of Jericho, and Panisello Garden. So you have a whole garden named after you today.
Panisello Garden? Can I just say, I think you guys just created my like dream. Like you've no joke. Like I'm obsessed with gardens. So the fact that you just said Panisello Garden, I was not expecting that. So yeah, that makes me very happy.
Well, you're
Good.
super welcome. That's where all the friendliest crew. I mean, the Zen Garden and the Panisello Garden today are like, the calm, chill, maybe like a little bit more reserved. And then Jericho, which is now Stephanie Co, is, it'll burst into flames.
Yeah.
As soon as I mention that, it's absolute chaos sometimes. So if you, I feel like after, a little bit of time, you might feel good in the garden.
No, this is a fantastic. No, I'm honestly obsessed with the duality of both because it kind of explains who I am. So I'm good with it.
Nice.
I love it.
Well, we've got a bunch of questions, so I'm going to jump into them, and feel free if there's anything you're legally not allowed to talk about or upcoming projects and stuff. You can do the NDA pass thing. But this first question is from Slash and the Alpaca, who says, how much did you know about the Resident Evil world before you took the role of Claire, and how was it like being introduced to the Resident Evil community? Had you played these games before you auditioned?
Yes. So I had played before this. I didn't. Okay, here. Let me start over. I had played all of this beforehand. When I was a kid, I'd played Resident Evil games. I hadn't played some of it like recently. But then when the audition process was happening, I started seeing the lines and I was like, whoa, what is this? I know this. And then I was like, there's no freaking way. Are they doing Resident Evil 2? And I'm like, it's obvious. Like, who else says, don't shoot? So that was such an iconic line. So I definitely kind of already had known the franchise, already knew about it. I had already been gaming. I just hadn't revisited it in a while. Actually, the one game I had revisited was Resident Evil 7, but that was kind of all within the same time. So, which I tried in VR.
What?
Oh my God, you're so brave.
Yeah,
Wow.
so brave that I screamed a ton. But yeah, so that was super fun. And then as far as the community goes, the Resident Evil community has been the most loving, welcome community ever, which is so interesting because you would think from a franchise that's scary and messed up and all this stuff, you'd be like, oh, there's this going to be this personality associated to it. Absolutely not. The sweetest, nicest people. I've been so blessed. Honestly, I think that's the reason I stream too, is just because it's been such a fantastic community. So I love it. It's also been really fun, just with other Resident Evil actors too. I don't know what it is, but there's this been the synchronicity of bringing together just good human beings. So
Oh, that's
Aww.
great.
so I've loved it. It's been fantastic, and yeah. So
That's
the
super
elaborate
cool.
answer.
That's a wonderful. We like elaborate. We are long-winded. Twitch is a long-form media. We had a long time to answer any of these questions. I'm finding the same thing too. I mean, everybody, especially in the voiceover community, I mean, kind of across the board, has been really, really supportive. It doesn't feel like a competitive thing. It feels very collaborative and cooperative. And a lot of the guests that we got, and a lot, I see what you're saying is echoing in the stream right now. A lot of people are saying the fans are so kind. It has it's always been this way. It's always been pretty amazing, full of lovely people. I remember Resident Evil was the game that was played at the sleepover in 8th grade, where I was like, I'm going to bed, actually. I'm going to let you guys do this, and I could not deal with it. So we resisted playing this game.
We were scared.
This
we
is
were really scared.
This is Resident Evil 2 Remake is the most requested game that has been on it. We have a forum. It's got 17,000 recommendations of games to play. And
Also, fun fact that Resident Evil 2 Remake is in the top 100 or top 50 lists of the best video games of all times, because we were looking them up yesterday.
on many lists.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
that's huge.
Yeah. And we have to celebrate, Stephanie, that Resident Evil 2 Remake came out 2 years ago, just now, on January 25th. So happy second anniversary.
Thank you. Yeah, it went by super fast. All of a sudden, I had fans were all sending happy anniversaries, and I was like, oh shoot, it's time. It happened.
So cool.
Thank you. No, it's such a blessing. That game, honestly, we had no clue it was gonna blow up the way that it did. We really had no clue. It was a really happy surprise for all of us and for Capcom, for everybody. So yeah.
It's great. It's such a fun streaming game too, though. It's a
is.
good balance between scares and puzzles, and the time where you have to be focused on the game, and then the other time where you're allowed to breathe for a second. Like, it's tricky to hit that sweet spot. And anyway, I could gush about how much we love the game, but we're gonna do that for the next 2 hours as we play the finale. Amelia's got some more questions for you.
Yeah. So Natastic333 asks, how long did it take for you to record this role? How long were you working on the project for?
That's a really great question. So, as you guys probably know too, it depends on how long you want to say is how long, because there are there's blocks of how we work on things. So there's like the whole preliminary stuff where you're just rehearsing and getting set up into everything. And then there was, then we had actual shoot days. Then we would take long periods of time in between, and then we would get back into like ADR, which, I mean, just to explain to some people, I know you guys, we all know how this works, but in case anybody in chat doesn't understand it, it's like, there's motion capture, which is when you're in what we call the volume, and it's a big padded room, where you wear the suit and you've got the like shiny balls and it picks up the data and you're like a skeleton that moves or whatever. That same thing with your face. But then ADR is afterwards, where we just do the voice, and so it's like specifically voice. So when we were doing motion capture, we were doing both. But then there's times where you want to pick up both, or where you have just things that are happening in game, and that's all the ADR stuff. So It took a really good chunk of time, to be honest. We did not go through this game super fast. It was very collaborative, so we did take our time and we did come back to things if we needed to and stuff. So I honestly don't know how long it was in total. I know that it took like 2 or 3 years for us to finally see it there, So I had to keep my mouth shut for so long.
Oh, man.
I know, which is a horrible thing for an actor to have to do.
Yeah.
We just want to talk about it.
Yeah.
No, I always tell my family, I'm like, I'm so sorry, I work for the CIA. I can't do anything,
Well, this is another question. We're going to just kind of keep shouting them out at you.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure we get as many people answered as we can. Cosmic Georgie would like to know, Stephanie, if perhaps it's the one you've named your Twitch channel after, but do you have a favorite line in the game?
Do I have a favorite line? I have a couple favorite lines. And so whenever I'm at a convention or something, people always say oh, just write your favorite line. I'm like, well, there's different facets of Claire. What kind of Claire do you want? Do you want the Claire that's sweet and kind, so then it would be a because I care, or would it be you want a little sass, So it's one of my favorite for that is I hope you like bullets because I've got a hell of a lot more. That's a sassy one. But then one that I really love that I was given permission to kind of add was when she has that interaction with Chief Irons. I don't know if you guys remember that, where he's about to take Sherry, and it's it's very heated and stuff, and I mean it's not the most beautiful line to say, but I'll get you, you fucker. That one is one I really love.
It really
It hits
resonates.
it, yeah. It encompasses the moment so beautifully because he is a fucker, and you will get him.
We will get him. Well, I mean, actually, we had some help there, which was a pleasant surprise in that moment.
Oh God, yeah, terrifying.
Do you? This is a question from Why Are You Bullying Me Too, which asks about what the hardest part of playing Claire was. Was there an obstacle, either technically or with the character portrayal itself?
Yeah, I think I would say the most challenging yet the most rewarding part of it, because I think as an actor this is something that you find joy in, is I had to take a character that was already very well defined in a universe that was very well known and was very iconic,
Right.
And had to make her my own. And so how to balance that act of having someone so iconic and then but making it fresh and yours was a fun kind of balancing act. So I think that was the one that was the most, we'll say challenging, but also the most rewarding, because it took me a little while. The first day I was like, oh, well, it's got to be like this, you know what I mean? But then I was trying to find her. So then I was thinking of all the characters that are female characters that I love that are iconic. And I was obviously Claire, so I was pulling from that. Then it was, Lara Croft, you know what I mean? So I was kind of pulling from there. And then I was thinking of Ellie from The Last of Us, and I was pulling from there. And then I was like, I had a moment with the director, and he looked at me and he said, Stephanie, it's whatever you want her to be, And I was kind of like, okay. But then later that day, I was with Mr. H, who's the producer for Capcom, the producer who's created the originals and stuff. And I said, is there anything you want me to do differently? And he looked at me and, as our translator there, and he looked at me and he says, no, you are Claire. You just do you. And I was like,
wow. So much permission. That's awesome.
Oh my God, it just changed everything. And then that's when I just found her, that's when I was like, well, let me think of all the different facets of her. She's a bit of a loner, but she's got a big heart, and what's her background, and why is this, and all these different things. And then she just became this complete person all of a sudden, who was a total badass with a big heart, who was scared, but also, courageous. And it all just came together in that moment. So, which is really cool.
That's really powerful.
And lucky to work with a team that supports you that way.
Yeah.
To give you that kind of permission is huge. And I think that's actually a really, for any of the actors or other creatives who are watching this stream, we have a lot of creative people in our community, and I think that it's really important for whatever your artistic style is, or as an actor, that whatever you put into the story, like you said, all these different facets, they all get strung together in the character, and all of those, you don't have to maintain something that you've done in a past scene. You can be a completely different person, just like we are in life, a completely different set of given circumstances. You're going to behave completely differently. And then you have a multi-dimensional character, as opposed to trying to kind of iron it all together. I've had that.
Yeah.
That obstacle is very real.
It also really resonated with me what you said, because I've had that experience of second guessing myself after I've gotten cast in a role of am I doing it right? I don't know if I'm doing what they want. And having somebody say to you, no matter what choice you make, it's correct, because you are that character, is so freeing. And I'm so inspired that you had that moment too. And I mean, you kicked it out of the park. You did such a great job with Claire. I really, really love her. I'm curious, when you first played the game, what was your reaction to see yourself as Claire?
I mean, it's definitely a surreal experience, because it doesn't look like you, but it definitely feels like you.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool kind of thing. In a weird way, I think I knew how to separate it, so I could still enjoy the game, which was funny. I could still, and I don't mean this in in any way an arrogant way, but I could still actually appreciate the choices that I made in that moment. You know what I mean? So
that's because they give you those 3 years of waiting. You forgot everything you did.
You forgot all about it. Oh wow, good choice, Stephanie. All right.
Yeah, past Stephanie really nailed this.
Yeah, she really nailed it. I'm so glad the director was like, let's do this other thing. And then I was like, whoa, okay, I'm in it, So yeah, it was so fun, honestly. It was actually really fun to see it come to fruition, and see all the hard work and all the love that every single person, honestly, it took an entire team to make this, to make it what it is, you know what I mean? I think you can feel the love and how it's a special game.
Yeah, I mean, when that liquor just is creeping on the ceiling, and then he goes, you feel that, right?
You feel that love.
I just want to shout out to anybody who might be tuning in a little bit late, that we have Stephanie Panisello, who plays Claire, with us here, and !Stephanie in the chat, or guest will get you the link to her Twitch and her Instagram if you'd like to follow along. And right now on Thursdays, she's playing Tomb Raider, or Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Rise of the Tomb Raider is what I'm playing right now, because I felt like everybody needed some outdoor adventure, and I'm obsessed with it, so now we're all doing it.
Nice. We're going to go field trip raiding tombs.
Yeah.
So Stephanie, quick question we have Ubomb YouTube, who asks, did the jump scares work on you when you did your first playthrough? Had you forgotten when things might pop up and surprise you, or were you just too cool and you knew it was coming?
Oh, I had no idea when the heck it was coming.
Good.
So I'm kind of sad that I didn't save all my original streams, because I played for the first time for fans. And this was like before I was like, this was like literally just me doing it for the hell of it. And so it's somewhere out there. I know somebody saved it and I got to find them. But yes, it was
If you're
very
out there,
genuine
tag
jump
Stephanie,
scares.
please.
Yes, please. If you have them, like send them to me. I want them. No, it was super genuine. Also, the only things that I knew that were coming was the cutscenes. I didn't know what was going to happen with the gameplay. I mean, I was just saying a bunch of reactionary sounds to things, but like when it was happening and how it was happening, I had no clue. I was fresh, you know? Like, so, but what was funny was, so I called it a clairception, you know? And so it was like, as I was playing as myself, but not myself, like whenever something would happen, I would pretty much react almost the same. So when people would like, when people were watching, they were like, wait, did you say that or did Claire say that? And I'm like, I think I said it and then Claire said it, or that time Claire said it and then I said it. Like,
That's trippy. It's like you're the internal monologue, you know, going with this character as we travel with them. And I mean, we love it. We're having so much fun playing this. This next question is from Absmaru, who says, let's see, what was your most memorable part of the creation of this project? Like when you were on set, I mean, you mentioned the experience with the creative team and, you know, piecing together the character. Do you have a moment of either on set or in the booth that really sticks out to you as something that maybe as an actor was a big deal or just for connecting to the project was a big deal?
so the really huge one for me that I was a little bit worried about was who they were going to choose to play Sherry Birkin. Because it's a child actor. And so it was like one of those situations where I was like, I have to build a bond here. So when they chose Eliza, which she is freaking phenomenal, I really, 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 really wanted to make sure that we bonded in a way that felt real and genuine, you know? And so I would joke with her and like kind of get to know who she was and try to like build a bond so it felt like a big sister taking care of a little sister, you know? And I know some people say it's more like a motherly vibe, but for me, it was like a sisterly thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so there's this really beautiful moment that we had that nobody ended up getting footage of, and everybody kicks themselves now, but we were sitting in the middle of the volume playing patty cake, and up above, you could actually see the characters in real time in mocap sitting there playing patty cake
Whoa,
together.
cool.
But we would just do goofy little things like that to like help that bonding experience and make it feel real. And honestly, it was great. Like, I think she is fantastic. That for me was so fun to be able to build that real bonding experience there. So I think that's one of the most memorable, aside from, like I said, Mr. H saying, "You just are Claire, do whatever you want." But yeah.
So did you get to work in the volume with any of the other actors, or like when in the process did you meet other people on the team?
Yeah, so the very first day we had a giant circle in the volume, and we all introduced each other. Like, everybody got to know who was everybody and what everybody did. So we did all get to meet each other there. I didn't get to interact with certain actors because, you know, it was like the other side of the story. So I did get to interact, obviously, with, you know, Nick Apostolidis, who plays Leon Kennedy, also with Jolene Anderson, who plays Ada. But Ada, I never play with in the game, so I never interact with her. So
Right.
I got to know her way better after everything, after the game. I got to like realize what a lovely human she is, you know? So, but also with Karen Strassman, who plays Annette Birkin, you know, so I had a couple scenes with her, but it was funny because this is funny to say, I can say it now. I didn't want to like her because in the game, I don't really want to like her. I want to respect her. So like I would go on set and I would interact, you know, and stuff like that, but not until we were done did we finally fully bond. Which Annette, Karen is like, I don't know if you guys know Karen, but Karen is like, I don't know, I'm telling you, we have such great people, like just great human beings. And like a super actress, like she's been like everything. And so, yeah, so I got to meet everybody, but it just took a little bit of time. So it depended on who I was meeting at certain times. Also, Christopher Watson, who plays Marvin Branda, like he is, oh man, I had some great scenes with him, even though I only had like 2 scenes that were short. Like we had some good scenes, you know? So I did get to
You know, we
interact
discovered
with
he
them.
actually streams on Twitch recently. We raided over
He
to
just
his
started.
channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just started. Yeah. So, which is super exciting to see him like get all motivated. So,
That's awesome. I won't stop this Twitch thing until we get every actor from every video game to give us this Claireception, Connorception, Tracyception, whatever thing, because it's fascinating to me. I mean, I think it's so cool to get to share the experience of playing the game with people live. Like when you work on a TV show or you do a film, then the audience is a totally separate moment, you know, and Twitch really connects it, brings it back a little bit more like theater where, you know, something funny can happen and then everybody's laughing together, and something scary can happen and everyone's scared at the same time, and like that kind of kinetic live thing that's going on. What's his channel? It is his name. We'll get the mods can just, he's got all 3 parts of his name, right? Christopher, is he Michael Christopher or Christopher Michael?
I don't know. I'll have to double check. Yeah. I don't want to say it wrong.
That's cool. We're going to pull it up here and we'll share it into the chat. And real quick, I just want to say what's up to Stacy, who's giving out this gift sub group hug. And thank you very much for your generosity. I'll let Amelia take it away.
I'm curious, how did you start acting? What was the beginning of your acting career, or when you got bit by the bug, so they say?
Ooh, that's a good question. So there's a difference between professionally and just in general. I'm always going to go with in general because I think that's the one that really matters for me, at least. So since I was little, like since I was a little kid, so I'm one of 4. I'm the oldest and only girl. And I was probably like 6 years old, and I would write plays and I would make my brothers perform in them. And I would, you know, before the performance would start, I would raid my parents' closet and dress them up and paint little mustaches on them. And like, I'd be like, okay, this is what you need to do. And then we would rehearse and like very dramatic scenes. I know like in the middle of one of them, I had this like huge tango dance with a rose in my mouth, you know, and it's dramatic. But that was a thing that like I just always naturally gravitated towards, and I just loved, and like it just brought me joy. And always growing up, I was in all plays, and I started my own show for the morning announcements and like all these different things. So this was all stuff that like was there. But when I went to college, I didn't. I still acted in all the not in the plays, in some like the short films and stuff for the film school. But I didn't think that it could be a career, so I actually didn't pursue it. I pursued something completely different, like political science and international affairs, and I just loved acting, and I knew it's what I loved to do, but not something I ever thought you could do as a job. You know?
And then look at you. I mean, you've worked on some. I saw Final Fantasy games you've worked on. Mm-hmm. Also, did you work on Tomb Raider too?
So I'm a giant Tomb Raider fan. Since like it came out originally, like I was very much influenced by Lara. Obviously, so when I went to school and, you know, got my degrees, it was, my concentration was anthropology. There was a lot of archaeology classes, you know, like sociology, philosophy, all that other stuff, you know, but which was very like Lara inspired, not gonna lie. And then rock climbing, you know, travel adventure, all that just like got really inspired in me when I was a kid. But I think I already loved it because I was already reading National Geographic magazines as a child anyway, and looking up animals and cultures.
The gateway to raiding tombs.
Yeah, exactly. I was already there. But yeah, so then before I worked on the Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I was part of the community group, which they have a really great community group too. They had a great community leader. And I would go to all like events, and we would do cool like outdoor survival classes. Like I built a bundle bow. I actually have it over here. I, you know, created like, you know, built a shelter, like overnight shelters, how to like build fire, like just really awesome stuff. Anyway, and I would cosplay, like I was all for it. And then I was already part of all that, and an opportunity came up to play Lara, just motion capture for their cinematic trailer for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And, you know, it was just a couple days or whatever, but it was like everything that Lara is. Like, in a very like it was like 2 or 3 minute like thing, you know what I mean? It's all her like action and her like getting hurt and her, you know, sneaking up on something, and I got to do it all, and it was like, for me that was just like little Stephanie getting to be Lara. Like, which was a big moment. So I don't take credit for everything over the mocap for that game, because that's not what I did, but it was all I needed for me to feel like, holy shit, that was really awesome.
That is really
Wow,
awesome.
that's so cool.
That's so cool. I mean, you can retire now. You've made it. I mean, like that's me. I'm just like waiting for that one Star Wars thing someday somewhere, and then I'm just gonna float on my iceberg off into the sunset or whatever. You know?
That's funny. Yeah, I actually got to do mocap for Star Wars for the game that just came out too.
Fallen Order.
Yeah, so just like, you know, like random things throughout the world and stuff. But I got to play like some sort of like creature, almost like a zombie-like creature. It's like one of the fallen sisters who like comes up and is, like all this other stuff. But
Dathomir?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
yeah.
Is that? Yeah,
Well,
I think
she's
so.
the main. Yeah, she's the main, the girl in it. But it's it's like her fallen sisters and then like other like creatures and things, which was just kind of fun. Sometimes it's fun to like get to play the otherworldly things, you know, so.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the coolest things about performance capture and motion capture is that you can play things that are not your likeness. You know, you can play some demon, some zombie, some dragon, some goldfish. Some Nerdy Beauty is back for 29 months. We got to say what's up. We got an awesome team of moderators, and Nerdy Beauty, thank you for all of your awesome help for 29 months, and Olga Fox for 21. Thank you guys for being here with us.
Another Bug Hunt asks, what would you put in your Panisello garden?
Ooh, what do I put in my garden? Okay, so like, we're just gonna go realistically here. So I want a section that is like food, right? So I'm obsessed with heirloom tomatoes, so there would be heirloom tomatoes in there. I think I would definitely want an herb garden. I would want some flowers, probably, let's see. Oh man, really making me think this through. Ooh, I also want trees. I want people to like pick things off the trees. So I want like mangoes for sure. Love mangoes. You gotta
Definitely
have
gonna get some
avocados.
mangoes.
Yeah,
avocados.
mangoes and avocados are a must-have. I don't even think you question that one. Then I want berries, like blackberries, blueberries.
It's
I
the
want
Garden
like
of Eden you're
a mixture.
describing.
Yeah, I want a mixture of food and herb and flowers. Like it's very whimsical garden. It would be a very whimsical garden. Not quite a Zen garden, though I love a Zen garden, but it would be more whimsical, and there would be like little trickling bit of water coming through, big old tree. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Let's all just go there.
Go there, yeah.
Let's go hang
Sounds like
out.
heaven.
Oh, that's amazing. I think that to me, like someday I would love to do like an outdoor stream. Like you're going on your Tomb Raider, you know, let's get some outside time. I think it would be cool to do a stream or something from an actual garden. I see you've got your ivy in the back there. Do you keep a lot of plants at your house?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do. I do have my plant babies. I actually this year bought a Christmas tree that was potted. So he's actually big, but he's in a pot. So no one died this Christmas. So
Yay!
I know, like it's such a beautiful thing. So he can stay in the pot for like, I think he was about 5 feet or 6. No, he's like he's about 6 foot tall, and the pot's a little bit taller. And yeah, he's still living. So he's got a year extra that he can stay in the pot, and then I can go plant him somewhere. So I have this really cool hike near me that I'm thinking about planting him there so I can visit him throughout his lifetime, because he lives like 80 to 90 years. So,
That's amazing.
I love that. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
What a great idea.
You know, we tried something like that when I first moved to California from the East Coast and Michigan, and very much like go chop down a pine tree and do the whole thing. And I was
Which
like,
is
I want
still
to
really fun to do. I'm not gonna lie, I've done that before.
It is, but I was trying to be all like eco California guy. I'm not gonna chop down a tree. I'm gonna plant a tree. And so we had a Christmas orange tree that went in a pot in our very bright front space, and basically just slowly died over 3 years. So you make sure you take good care of that pine tree, because it's your responsibility now.
Oh yeah, no, believe me, I am a plant mom. Okay, I am not joking. I talk to my plants, like I tell them they're beautiful. I ask them for forgiveness when I forget to water them.
Oh my God, I love you.
It's true though. Talking to your plants, you'll agree with me. Talking to your plants makes them grow better, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. Like it's like you have like this beautiful bond. I have two. I always say the name of this wrong. Bougainvilleas.
Bougainvillea.
Okay, I always say it wrong. Like, so I speak Spanish, so like I think I just. But okay, say it to me again, and I'll probably not remember, but I'll try it.
Bougainvillea.
Okay, so I have two bougainvilleas that don't get enough sunlight, unfortunately, because of where I live, and I just, I kept them alive just by speaking beautiful things to them and still feeding them water.
That's amazing.
I said, you guys just keep hanging on a little longer until I move and I have a garden and you're going to flourish and you're going to
because I care.
You waited.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's really sweet. I love all the similarities already between you and Claire too. Like, we find a child and we take them out of the garbage compactor of death, which is a horrible place for a child to turn into a zombie, I'm going to say. Right? Mr. H. We got a bunch of people to thank real quick. I want to say, Kat, welcome back for 17 months. Yes, Mr. Vix is back for 33 months, one of our longtime friends since the very beginning. And Revel Player 1, thank you for the sub. And all of you guys who are here with your questions for Stephanie, thank you again for tagging at Dechart Games so we can pull your questions through the mod room. And check out !Stephanie in the chat so make sure you can follow her on Instagram and on Twitch. And for Thursdays, you're playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and we're gonna be there. We love that game. We had a lot of fun. And if you want, we can introduce you to Earl Balon, who plays. Earl.
Yes, Earl is fantastic. That's what I'm saying. I met him through the community, through the Resident Evil community, and he's so funny. I love he loves burritos. I love
loves burritos. Dude loves burritos.
Yes, I know Earl though. Earl is fantastic. He's
so wait, you met him through Resident Evil? So there are other people. Did he work on Resident Evil, or is he a friend of a friend, or
through the Tomb Raider community?
Oh, through Tomb Raider, right on. Yeah.
So that's when I was like straight up just a fan, because as much as like I'm I work in games and I'm an actress, but I was also just a fan.
Yo, he's got such a good voice. If you can do a little collab with him, he came on our stream and it was just like from the beginning I was like, oh, I feel so taken care of just by your voice. He's got this nice resonant low voice, and it always feels like he's on a radio show when we tune in, having a burrito.
Yep.
Shout out to Earl. We know you're out there.
Earl, oh my God, yes, I do. This is a huge shout out to Earl. I actually have been wanting to bring him on. I haven't done it yet because I had to learn how to properly use Discord. I think I told you how much I really love tech issues.
Well, shout out to our awesome team on Discord. Without them, we would not be able to pull it off. And with also, as we mentioned, other streamers and Earl, I want to shout out that it is Christopher Michael Watson is his Twitch name for the actor who plays Marvin in Resident Evil 2 Remake. And we've got that link in the chat if you guys want to check out his channel as well, because got to keep supporting. We got a few more cues over here.
Yes.
You want to take it away?
You can pick one of those.
Okay, I'm going to pick this one. Okay. Well, have you tried the demo for Resident Evil Village yet?
No, I have not. I have not. It looks terrifying.
I think we're gonna do it after if we have enough time after we finish the stream today, and if you guys are down, we would like to check out the demo. I think it's about 10 minutes long, so if you're looking for a scary thing to freak yourself out with right before you go to bed or something, apparently the demo is out. So thank you to Dream Sunflower for the reminder.
I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I thought you guys are not giant into the scary stuff. I mean, you're just
We're not
going into the torturing yourself now.
We're being led by the nose. Basically, I think our community is leaving little breadcrumbs where they're like, try Resident Evil 2. It'll be okay. And then we survive, and they're like, try it again, do it as Claire. And then they're they're moving the goalpost, Resident Evil 7, I mean, what could be scary? VR? I mean, maybe try it.
Or you're playing Alien Isolation and you hate life.
Resident Evil, Alien Isolation has a ton of recommendations, and then every now and then there's someone in the forum put Alien Isolation, and then their comment was, "I know a lot of people are recommending for you guys to play this game, but I know you well enough to recommend that you do not play this game. It will destroy you. Like, don't do it." So just know that there are people out there who are looking out for us, even if the rest of you say play Alien Isolation.
Yeah, sorry, chat. Please don't. It's torture is not fun. Okay, scaring each other there's playfulness, but torture is not exciting.
Yeah, I know.
They say it's terrifying in a good way, Ames Frey. I mean, I don't know. Let's see if we can make it through the demo. If we can make it through the demo of Village, then we'll keep moving the goalpost.
That takes us. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be and why?
So this is really good. So somebody asked me this, and I never have been able to know exactly how I want to answer this. But I think I would want to have the ability to. Man, this is always so hard.
I know.
Sorry.
It's kind of messed up that she even asked you right now, out of the blue.
No, it's fine. It's
and
fine.
You're committed to this, by the way. If you ever get bit by a radioactive anything, this is the superpower you're gonna get. We don't make the rules. This is just.
Brian, what?
It's high stakes. We're playing for keeps.
Okay, so I think I would want the ability to learn how to do things quickly, how to pick things up fast.
Ooh.
So I don't know if that's a thing, but I think that would be something exciting for me because I'm already a person that likes to be self-sufficient. So I think I would want to learn, whether that be learn how to speak a language because you need to communicate with somebody real quick, or learn how to fix this problem, or whatever it is. I think the ability to break things down and figure it out, I think would be kind of cool.
Kind of like the Matrix, plugging something in and then all of a sudden you learn it.
I was just going to say that, and Stephanie, if they ever make a Matrix video game and you don't get a shot at playing Trinity, it's all messed up because you've definitely got a Trinity thing going on.
Yes.
And I was thinking of the John Travolta movie Phenomenon. Do you remember that? A handful of people do. A handful of you watched that movie with me in, 1996. John Travolta basically just takes a book and he's like, brrr, and he knows everything, and he speaks Spanish immediately or something. I think that's a superpower where that would be so applicable.
Yeah.
Or the Matrix where you plug in and get and to fly a helicopter.
And just upload it all. It's almost did you guys ever watch the show Chuck?
Chuck?
No.
Oh, it's a really funny, fun show. It's an older show. It's a comedy, but it's an action comedy, and it has sort of some of those.
Chuck.
Yeah. I didn't watch it though,
Chuck.
but I know Chuck. I've seen his ads around town.
If you want to watch something and you don't
to
feel like no one's gonna tell you what's already happened because it's such an older show, just enjoy Chuck. It's a great one. So
a lot of love for Chuck.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Brian as Neo, I'd be down. Hey, I don't know. I love Keanu Reeves, and the first Matrix movie was a big thing for me, being oh wait, people do that for a living. They pretend like they're doing all of this and that's their job. And I had a big poster. Did you, besides Lara Croft, did you have some heroine or hero that you really looked up to growing up, or as an actor that you were this is someone who makes me want to do it, even though I hear it's a bumpy ride to be an actor?
I mean, I've had different people that I've liked, but someone that I've always kind of admired was Kate Winslet. I feel with Kate, she can play all different kinds of roles, and I really admire that. I don't know how she is necessarily as a human. I haven't really fully looked into that part of her, but as far as an actress goes, I feel she plays roles that I would want to get into, meaty roles that have a lot of layers and strong women, but not always I think what I love is that she doesn't lean heavily on always having to be the most beautiful woman. It's there's just this beauty within every character that she has that I really admire. So I feel Kate Winslet maybe would be one that I've always kind of like. I took a little while to like realize that though. You know, it's not like since I was a child, I wasn't like, I want to be like Kate Winslet because I saw her in the Titanic. Like it wasn't one of those, you know, but I like realized it as I watched everything that she was in. I always just kind of liked it. So yeah.
That's awesome cool. I feel like the further I get away from the aha moment of like, oh, I think I'm going to pursue this acting thing, the further I get away from that kind of event horizon, the more everything kind of comes into my mind of being obvious. It's like, oh, whoa, this is where I got all of those influences. You know what I mean? Like all the little moments in Detroit Become Human where it's just, or with Deviant Con or anywhere, where I'm like slipping in and sneaking other character ideas and influences and stuff in there. I think it's super important to be like intaking creative things as much as you're putting them out into the world, you know, to keep the balance. And this is a question we've been asking a lot of our guests, so it's a little bit like our I don't know, like you remember James Lipton and Inside the Actor Studio where they have the speed round, like what would God say to you at the pearly gates or whatever. Ours is with so many creative people in our community. Do you have any advice or recommendation for someone who is either wanting to get into something creative but hasn't, or feels blocked with the art that they're working on, or how do you keep the creative engine going? And do you have any advice for people, you know, even if it's acting, painting, directing, you know, dancing, whatever?
Yeah. You know what my biggest one is? I mean, as far as like acting goes, I feel like for most creative things, like I'm a really huge proponent of people, and I'm going to say this in a very real way, because I think sometimes we need to hear things really real, is sometimes there's like this like absolute want to have it so badly that you become desperate and you kind of lose who you are and like what brings you joy and what makes you happy and like all these different things. And so I think to like lose that desperation and that like place of like feeling like you're lacking this thing by like actually doing your life, you know what I mean? So like I think that like if you want to be X, Y, and Z thing, you know, like for me when I was like, oh well, if I want to one day be like Lara or whatever, I want to do all this stuff, instead of being like, how cool would that be to be like Lara? No, I just said, I'm booking my flight to Cambodia. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go rock climbing. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. And I think like experiencing life and like realizing that that's your intention and your goal is to have these things, but not let it like kind of become this giant burden over you that you feel like you can't achieve. So like by doing life and by going out there and like you kind of help create this balance in your life where all of a sudden it flows. Because I think creativity, especially with creativity, it is when you're in a really good flow, when you're in a really good balanced place, you know what I mean? And that also means like maybe you're like, you know, you put yourself out there and you were in a shitty relationship and you got your heart crushed, but now you're writing amazing fucking music. You know what I mean? Like, but you experienced it. You had experience to pull from. And then, you know, at the end of the day, whether you became successful in that creative venture or you didn't, you have all of this behind you, all this experience, all these memories, all these beautiful things. So at the end of the day, you still can't feel like you didn't get something out of having done that. You know what I mean? So either it'll help all of that creative process or it'll just enrich your life in general. So I think the biggest one is just go out and fucking live your life. Do what the fuck you want to do, you know?
Oh my God, I love that. I love that.
Tiny claps, tiny claps.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so basically, that was for me. And selfishly, I'm just going to put that on loop. Stephanie, you've got such a great energy, and we're so grateful for you spending your time with us and answering everybody's questions. And I really hope all of you guys will be able to join on Thursday. You're streaming on Thursday evenings, right?
Thursday evenings, yeah. I'm shooting for 6:30. For some reason, tech issues come into play. Sometimes it ends up being 7 o'clock. But between
this is a patient crew.
7 p.m. you know, on Thursdays, Pacific Standard Time. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll be sure to be hosting your channel then and directing people over. And Stephanie, if there's anything else that you'd like to share or honestly just kind of put us at ease again, anything else you want to shout out before we go? And then we're going to play you guys after this 5-minute hydration break. We're going to announce our next Saturday game and play the final 2 hours of Claire's Path of Resident Evil 2. So Yeah.
If there's anything else, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just kind of, if people want to come follow or anything like that, on Instagram, I do post things that are related to work. I also just post adventures, so if anybody wants to follow any of that stuff, that's, I don't know, you'll never go on my page and find like you don't feel good, because I won't post anything unless it's intentional, which is
That's
with
nice.
a good, happy, motivating kind of like feel. So
Yeah, well, and it will encourage us to get out there and live our lives and go do a fun
get
thing.
out there and just do it. And so that was a very Shia LaBeouf or whatever moment, but that was not what I meant by it. Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I would say that I haven't actually even mentioned on mine is I might be doing a signing, like an autograph signing for around Valentine's Day for anybody that is big on, I know that people love to kind of ship up Leon and Claire, which they are not a relationship, but so we might be doing like a cute little like shipping of different characters and things like that, just for the sake of Valentine's Day. I think it's more of a friendship, in my opinion. But yeah, so I might be doing that around Valentine's Day. So if
That's
anybody
really
wants to
sweet.
follow that.
So,
Cool.
will you'll post about that on your Instagram?
Yeah, I'll probably post about it on my Instagram, and I'll just give more information on there. So, but yeah.
Cool. Well, that's super awesome. Stephanie, we ship you and Claire because you and Claire are awesome. And we have a great message here from one of our longtime supporters, somebody in San Diego, who says, thank you to the...
Somebody in San Diego! I know somebody in San Diego! Yeah.
You do. Hey, somebody in San Diego.
Yeah.
They say, thank you so much to the Connor Army for welcoming Stephanie and her Resident Evil community. Her being Claire was gorgeous proof that ladies can have equal roles in being sassy, badass heroes too. Take care of Claire in this finale because we also care for Claire.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, somebody in San Diego, you're very well written,
I know.
well spoken in your messages. So thank you, and thank you to everybody for giving such a warm welcome to Stephanie. And be sure to check out Because I Claire on Twitch and also her Insta.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Somebody in San
Wow.
Diego's doing the thing.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
That's really generous of you. Somebody in San Diego giving out 100 gift subs to those of you who are here with us on the stream. So thank you, Stephanie, for motivating a lot of
Somebody
us.
in San Diego, thank you for that too. Thank you for doing that.
That's really generous.
Wow.
We're super appreciative of you guys. We got a panel down below the video that says starter kit, so you can find your way to Stephanie Co. and Panisello Garden. And we are so happy to have you join us. And we'll see you on Thursday for your stream of some Shadow
Awesome.
of Tomb
Sounds
Raider.
good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure
course.
to be on with you guys and getting to, meet you both. Even though it's virtual, it's still real.
It's very real.
is.
And we'll spend some time in a garden in real life when we're allowed to.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh,
When the world
you don't
permits.
understand. Tea parties and garden, I'm all about it.
We're there.
Music to my ears. Music to my ears.
Cool. Well, enjoy the rest of your day,
Awesome.
Stephanie.
Thank
Wait,
you
before
so
we
much.
go,
Oh.
Yeah.
can we give a group hug?
Oh yeah, can we give you a group hug?
A virtual group hug. I miss them so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're strong.
I know.
I give strong bear hugs. Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, good luck with the rest of the stream. Take care of Claire. Keep
will.
on surviving out there. And I hope you enjoy, because this is the second time that you play this, so you might get a little extra something in this game.
Ooh.
So
I'm equally excited and terrified. Thank you, Stephanie.
enjoy
We'll, we appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
okay, see you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, chat.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, absolutely
oh my
fantastic.
gosh, so sweet.
I am so glad that Stephanie could join us. It is awesome.
Aw.
It is awesome that you guys could all share your questions with her. And again, somebody in San Diego, thank you for your incredibly
Yes.
generous support.
She is a treasure. I agree. That advice that she gave. Wow.
I
really.
feel like, honestly, at the beginning of the stream, I was feeling a little bit like I'm not quite awake yet. We're gonna go do the zombie thing. Okay, let's eat some ramen really fast. And now Let's take
Ready
on the
for
world,
anything.
friends.
Yeah.
We've got to make an important decision, though, because before this break and for the 5 minutes of the break, we're going to do some very unusual thing. We have done a question. We have exclamation point games in the chat. There's a form and a panel down below the video that you can click to recommend a game, and we take your recommendations very seriously. It's how we found Resident Evil 2, and ultimately how we are going to determine our next Saturday game that we'll start playing next week. But this time, it's
a little bit
basically
of a tie. Yeah.
And so we need you guys who are here with us right now live in the next 5 minutes are going to be the people who determine which of these two games we play starting next Saturday. So you've always had a say in what game is next, but never before has it been determined live like this. I'm going to tell you right now, a little drum roll, well, maybe even a gong. Throw a gong in there.
Yeah, let's...
The game we're going to play next Saturday is Assassin's Creed, but the question is, which means Black Flag or Odyssey. Which are we going to play next on twitch.tv/Dechart Games? You can type exclamation point games if you'd like to recommend any other games for our future streams. We have number 1 in the chat. You can type for Black Flag. Number 2 in the chat for Odyssey. These two were very, very close.
Very close.
And so we're going to let you guys who are here with us on the stream during this next 5-minute hydration break split the vote. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
See, yeah, so we need your help.
So if you've never voted before on this channel, all you have to do is type 1 or 2 into the chat. To give you an idea, each person gets 1 vote, so you only have to do this once. Black Flag is pirate themed. We're talking like 1700 pirates, right?
Scallywags.
Pirates and scallywags. And Odyssey is Greek mythology inspired. Roman. No, I think it's
Kind of Spartan.
think it's Greeks. It's decidedly Greeks. But the Odyssey,
Yeah, that.
the Odyssey does tell tale of
You can kick people in the Spartan way.
you can kick people in the Spartan way who are decidedly Greek. That being said, I'm going to have a discussion with my wife about the difference between Greeks and Romans during
No,
the 5
I know
minute.
the difference. I just thought they were Roman, but maybe they're Greek. And anyway,
Listen,
you know,
you
what
all
I
know.
don't know.
Assassin's Creed has got a lot of recommendations. It's a franchise that's almost as hyped as this Resident Evil is. And I'll tell you what, you guys, look at that is so close. So please.
Wow.
Please help us vote. Help us make up our mind.
Yeah.
Deviant Jules, thank you for the gift sub group hug. We appreciate you being here with us.
Stevie and Jules.
Thank you. We're going to take 5 short minutes, and when we come back, we'll see who's the winner of the poll. And thank you, Chiwal. Thank you for being here for 5 months. You guys are absolutely awesome with your support. And Megan AC, I wonder if that AC is Animal Crossing or Assassin's Creed.
2 very different ACs.
All right, friends, I'm going to fire up the PlayStation 5, and we'll be back for the final 2 hours of Resident Evil 2, Claire's Path, on the other side of this 5-minute break.